Well, so yeah, are we talking about in the garage or are we talking about like here? Let's see. I'm going to look up on Microsoft News. So, facts about Microsoft, important dates. 1975.
Hey.
They didn't incorporate until June 25th of 1981.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then, or Microsoft launches Windows 3.0 in 1990. So maybe that's where I was getting that from.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Okay. So I figured we'd start with your background. You know, I looked on your LinkedIn. Obviously, I know you've worked in the Microsoft ecosystem for, close to 20 years.
Yeah, 2 decades.
Yeah. And you've been able to see it evolve. So do you just want to talk about your journey a little bit with how that started and then kind of lead up to where you are now?
Absolutely. So I had a friend that was working for an organization that had vendors on the Microsoft account. We deal with vendors on a regular basis here at 2W Tech. And they support Microsoft's projects and initiatives to support small businesses, right? And customers. So I applied for this position and because this particular organization supported many different accounts, such as McDonald's, what is it called? The Shake Shack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All of these different accounts, I didn't know which account I was going to be on until one day after 2 weeks of training, I sat down at my desk at my spot, turned a piece of paper over, and it said that I was going to be working on the Microsoft account. So that started my Microsoft journey. Within that journey, I was a participant in many different roles. I was a Telepartner Account Manager, or TPAM, as Microsoft loves acronyms, supported a portfolio of a variety of partners such as ourselves, then helped them make licensing purchases.
You did work with 2W while you were on Microsoft's side?
No, but partners similar to 2W.
Okay.
Yeah, managed Microsoft partners or what have you. So I then transformed into software asset management. So helping customers make sure that they are licensed correctly within their orgs. And from there, I piloted and began a new program called GIAM, Global Inside Account Management. I transitioned into a full-time Microsoft employee where I was an account executive for the Greater Toronto area, specifically public sector. One area that really was a stopgap was Microsoft licensing. Nobody understood it. We had dedicated licensing specialists. Then they changed their names to commercial executives, and that has transformed throughout the decades as well. But so I took it upon myself, instead of relying on one person who is overseeing hundreds of customer accounts, to really dive into the details of Microsoft licensing. And I am a person that believes that learning something new every day is of great importance. And Microsoft licensing allows that to happen. So became very skilled and knowledgeable in the ever-changing Microsoft licensing, and was able to use that or leverage that to advance my career into a Microsoft Alliance Manager, which I am for 2W Technologies today. So
awesome.
Love it.
So how would you compare the complexity of Microsoft licensing at that point when you were on Microsoft's side compared to where it's at now?
It's very similar. Well, I feel in a sense that it tends to be a bit easier now because we went through that transition of on-premise licensing to subscription-based licensing. So perpetual licensing to subscription-based licensing.
Okay.
So I guess understanding the nuances and being present during those changes made it very simple for me to better understand, because technology is constantly changing. So it's almost like leasing a vehicle, right? It's better to lease your software versus buying something and then have it go out of date, right away. I worked with a lot of enterprise agreement customers, and they would lock in their licensing for 3 years. Well, licensing has changed so much. The technology, the software has changed so much that, locking in for 3 years kind of puts you in, I don't know, a box, right? Because you're locked into certain technology that might not be right for your organization.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I always think about it like you sprint and then halt and then sprint and then halt the previous way versus now it's just like a steady jog.
Yes. Slow and steady wins the race, they say.
Exactly. So you mentioned your title now, which is Microsoft Alliance Manager. And I want to get into that because I feel that title might not make sense to a lot of people. They might not know everything that goes into that. So do you want to quickly touch on what that actually means and what your responsibilities and duties are?
Sure. So picture me as the bridge between Microsoft and our organization, right? So I align 2W Technologies' daily businesses and relationships with Microsoft's priorities as well. And when we work together, we successfully grow and build customers, right? We're both in it for the best interests of customers, but how do we effectively, communicate these new technology advances to those customers? Microsoft heavily leans on partners such as 2W. So I am the bridge between the vast ecosystem of Microsoft and the customer, because they're a huge, huge organization. We are that gap filler in a sense. I am basically like a tour guide. I know all the ins and the outs, and I share that with our customers.
Yep, for sure. And manufacturing is a unique operation. They have unique processes, and I know Microsoft dabbles in more than the manufacturing industry, right? So just being able to narrow in on what is actually relevant to manufacturers and now distributors is huge. So
absolutely.
Was Microsoft Alliance Manager new to 2W when you took on that role?
Yes.
How did that conversation go? Was it like they said, this is what we need? We need someone to basically translate everything from Microsoft to help us focus on what needs to be focused on?
So when I left Microsoft in 2020, that is when COVID took place, right? So we were transitioning into this online work from home type of an atmosphere, right? And if anything, it propelled Microsoft, and it ultimately highlighted the need for a Microsoft Alliance Manager, because there are so many things and adaptations, and it's just huge, confusing, and hard to understand. So I was actually recruited by a fellow 2W teammate, and there were just many questions. They knew that 2W knew that there was a gap. They knew that Microsoft was moving mountains and changing the world, and there just wasn't enough time in the day to have everybody running towards understanding what all of those changes and transformations were. And so it was, hey, we're looking for this newly created position. Are you willing to apply and be part of the 2W family? So that's how it came about. And because I have that history of understanding the vast ecosystem of Microsoft, it was a perfect fit. So it was like I understood it from my first years of working as a vendor on the Microsoft account, managing partners such as 2W, and then transitioning into a full-time Microsoft employee, I knew both sides of the fence. So it was just a perfect melding and an opportunity for the Microsoft Alliance Manager position to be created.
Yeah. I think that's always where you see the most success in positions, roles, opportunities is when there are multiple perspectives that can be brought into the everyday role.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
And this is a unique position. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, obviously, and I don't see Microsoft Alliance Manager or anything similar to that through other partners. They have to be struggling because we do see so much value in what you do.
Right. Thank you. That's nice to hear. Yeah, I agree that it's a newly sought out position. There are partners, successful partners that have recognized the need. Mm-hmm. And then there are also partners that have dedicated teams to it because they see the value in it. And then there's other partners who are behind. They're not recognizing what they're leaving on the table, right? And there's just huge opportunity for growth as an organization to make sure that you secure that strong foundational relationship with Microsoft. So what does your day-to-day look like? Like, how does this process work between communicating with Microsoft and bringing that internally here? And I know with everything in technology, every day is different. So it's hard to just kind of wrap that into this is what I do on a day-to-day basis, but maybe at a high level. So there is never any 2 days that are ever similar or alike. Mm-hmm. Yes, there are standard things that need to be done on a regular basis. For example, claiming partner of record, otherwise known as CPOR, right? In order for things to light up for us as far as additional benefits within our partner program. But ultimately, it is keeping on top of what's going on from the Microsoft side of the house. What new technology is being adopted? What new Microsoft licensing SKUs are being promoted and aligned for security or AI specifically? Just trying to keep on top of the news of the latest and greatest, and then making sure to effectively communicate that out within the organization so that our sales staff can have that fruitful conversation with their clients, right? We have a lot of clients that don't know where to begin. And I'm hoping that I can communicate, let's have a conversation and let's start here. Mm-hmm. So not only is it making sure that I'm on top of support tickets, I will say 9 times out of 10, 2W is able to answer all support comments, questions, needs. But there are some Microsoft product issues that we need to escalate. Mm-hmm. So having and tapping into those resources, making sure that we come to conclusion quickly is really a big part of my role. Making sure that our engineers are up to date on their certifications and understanding of the new technologies and how it's advancing and changing. We are that trusted advisor to our clients, and we need to be a step ahead so that we can help guide and ease everyone forward. That's going to be the right direction for them specifically.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was thinking, I don't think we've ever had a situation where a client came to us saying they saw something from Microsoft's side and they're interested in it, and we had no idea what they were talking about.
Correct.
So you mentioned a little bit about some of the benefits that we have being the level of partner we are with Microsoft. And one of those big benefits is the separation from our type of partnership versus a more transactional type of partnership. So do you want to talk about what I mean by that and like the value that goes beyond just selling the licensing?
So, absolutely. I have a lot to say here.
I know that's a loaded question.
Yeah, no, I have a lot to say here. So the partner ecosystem was developed to support clients, and a transactional partner is just that. They're almost too big for their own britches. So sure, they will sell you a Microsoft licensing SKU or bundled SKU like M365 Business Premium or, M365 E3, E5, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't take the time to actually get to know you as an organization and see if what you're requesting is actually appropriate for your needs, for your organization, right? So they will sell you a license and then goodbye, have a nice life. They do not engage in understanding your business, your organization, your concerns, your needs, your areas of opportunity to grow as a business. Now, we are different in the fact that we evaluate your current business. We figure out, okay, what is your 5-year plan as an organization? What are some of your concerns? What are your obstacles? We then ensure that we put you in the right licensing schema to best suit those needs and goals, and to ensure that you're secure, that you're using the technology that you're purchasing, and not just buying a bundled SKU because that's what we think that you should do.
Mm-hmm.
We have actually taken the time to ensure that what you are purchasing is right for your organization. And we deploy it, we check in with you, we will even help handhold you in using the technology and getting organization buy-in on how to use that technology. So transactional is thank you for your purchase. Have a nice day. We're here to help you use the technology that you are purchasing and make sure that it meets the organizational needs.
Yes. And I think the biggest thing you said there was being able to scale it with your business, wherever you see your business going in 5-10 years. We make sure that the solutions that are incorporated can scale with that. And I like the tagline of, when it comes to Microsoft licensing, when you work with us, worst case, you learn something new. Best case, we save you money. So
that is great. Yes, I like that too. One more caveat to add to that. So because 2W Technologies is a direct tier 1 CSP, what does that mean? We have a direct line of sight into Microsoft, right? We don't have to go through this tier and this tier and this tier in order to have a voice with direct FTEs within Microsoft. So we have the best support possible, and we extend that to all of our customers and clients as well. So
I want to touch base on our Microsoft logo. We have some things listed under it, and those are our designations and specializations. Do you want to talk about what those mean? So we have, for everyone, just so you know, we have security, modern work, Azure infrastructure, and Azure data and AI, and then a specialization in Azure virtual desktop. So what does that mean? Why does that matter to someone that sees that logo?
That's a way for us to basically showcase the fact we know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about, and we have the stamp of approval from Microsoft saying that we are expertise in these areas. So there's a lot that goes into obtaining, solution designations as well as specializations. And it's beyond just skilling expertise. It's deployment and integration, and it's actually walking the talk, right? Not just talking about it. We are doing the work, and we have those solution designations and specializations because we are showcasing not only the skilling, but the actual deployment and the work that goes into obtaining those. It's saying, hey, we've been there, we've done that, and we've proven it.
Yes, and I know a lot of that goes hand in hand with the certifications that our individual engineers earn. Do you want to give a couple examples of those certifications just to help paint the picture of what we're actually working towards? There's a lot that goes into each of these.
Oh, yeah. Security is always top of mind for a lot of folks right now, specifically. Mm-hmm. Some of those certifications are, we have 6 certified individuals. So we've got an Azure Security Engineer Associate. We've got a Cybersecurity Architect Expert, Security Operations Analyst Associate, just to name a couple, right? Identity and Access Administrator Associate. Mm-hmm. So these are huge in today's security posture, right? We have the skilled experts in-house to help you on making sure that your environment is secure.
Yeah, for sure. And these are re-upped every 6 months or a year, right?
Every year, correct.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I think that's important to point out because this isn't a certification or a test where you can just Google cybersecurity 101 on the internet and that's the information that our individuals are being tested on and showcasing skills for. It's more focused and more comprehensive than that. So
absolutely. And one quick comment, we would never Google anything when it's relative to Microsoft. We would Bing it.
Google's just my go-to search engine when I talk about examples. Even when I'm referencing Bing, I still say Google. Google's just in my head.
I know. Coming from the Microsoft ecosystem, I have set family members straight. Former coworkers. Yeah, I'm always I don't know what you're talking about. If it's relative to Microsoft, I'm Binging it.
Yeah. Okay. To wrap us up, I wanted to, because you just spent 3 days at Ignite, which I'm sure you've got a lot of information, and we're not going to dive into it all, but I know Microsoft's constantly evolving. That's one of the benefits of working with a partner because we stay up to date on all the new, shiny improvements, whatever it may be. But do you want to talk high level about what's coming down the pipe?
I will say Microsoft is continuing to advance the benefits and value for our smaller businesses and organizations by adding additional resources that a lot of our enterprises and large organizations have had for a while or continue to get rolled out to first. So with that, AI, if you're not learning about it, if you're not using it, if you're not incorporating it into your daily business and personal habits, you will be left behind. AI is not here to replace you as a human being in your job and role and responsibilities. It's to enhance your existing role and responsibilities. You will have a better work-life balance opportunity by leveraging all that is being put out by AI. If you have questions about AI, call 2W Technologies.
Well said. A conversation's always the way to go because there are different ways of implementing AI. And I know we talk about this a lot, but I think the way of implementing AI that people are scared of is incorporating it into everything and having it take over. But that's not how, to your point, it's not how it should be used and not what we're talking about. AI should be an assist, basically. So
yes, it's an assist. It's a complement, right? Like I said, so when I left Microsoft, I was looking for a better work-life balance. Just so happened that COVID kicked in, right? Mm-hmm. And allowed me the opportunity to work from home and create that work-life balance opportunity. But it's hard. It was hard initially, right? AI is going to make your role, your business role, so much more productive, streamlined, engaging. It's going to help you do your work faster, better. And if you incorporate it into your personal life, it's going to allow you to have that better work-life balance. It's amazing. I cannot express it enough. Instead of putting your hand up in front of AI, put your arms around it, embrace it. It's going to change your world.
Yeah, that is a really interesting perspective on it. I never thought about it comparatively to remote work. Like right after COVID, a lot of organizations and companies went completely remote. And now we're seeing people move back into like a hybrid. And the hybrid is kind of the sweet spot for a lot of organizations. We almost overcorrected by going fully remote for some. That's just a good way to think about it. Because AI, I think, like I said, a lot of people are thinking like a complete overhaul with AI. But once we bring it back to just being intertwined in what you're doing, that's going to be the happy medium.
Correct. Good stuff.
Thank you. This was great. I mean, I already said it, but I'll say it again. Your role and everything that you do for 2W is indispensable. I mean, we wouldn't be able to operate the way we do without what you are doing. So thank you. And I know that comes from everyone. We wouldn't be able to be doing what we're doing and making the impact on clients without your support. So thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. That's very nice to hear. I love my job and I love all of my coworkers and all of our clients. This is fantastic. Thank you for this time. This was great fun, actually.
Good. I'm glad. Have a good lunch.